What's up, guys? We're back again with another GRIPT media article. Today we're going to be talking about fighting disinformation means letting politicians regulate lying. So this one should be absolutely crazy. Make sure to drop a comment down below. This is mainly for my Irish viewers as well. So yeah, I like reacting to a lot of media topics, politics, and things like that as well. I'm delving into all topics of the internet, guys, so hopefully we enjoy this one. Let's see what the description says. It says disinformation is just a long-winded way of saying lies. When the government say they want to regulate information, they're literally talking about letting politicians regulate lying. So what do you guys think, man? Tell me down below. If you want to regulate misinformation, stuff like that, it's obviously a very big thing in the society nowadays, media nowadays. They say it's the #1 threat to the government and society is misinformation. But we're about to find out, guys. Especially this year is going to be huge. Let's get it.
Today in the Western world, we hear a lot about fighting so-called disinformation. It seems to be an obsession of modern politicians. As of last year, Ireland has established not one, but 2 separate state bodies with the legal power to suppress what they deem to be disinformation, namely the Electoral Commission and the Media Commission.
But also we have powers to require the correction or removal of information we believe to be incorrect.
My whole thing is, before we even get into this, is like, who regulates the information? For instance, I'm gonna give you an example, because people say I talk too much. Well, I'm going to talk a lot, guys. Let's say we went to a concert, because that's what I do, I react to music. Let's say we went to a big concert, right? And it was a big event. I've only been to one concert in my life, pretty much. One big concert, one other one, but anyway, that's irrelevant. And both me and my friend went, and I said, wow, that was amazing. And he said, no, that was a terrible performance. He didn't play these songs. It was not good. And I wrote about it. I said, that was an amazing concert, one of his best concerts ever. And then the guy disagreed. Because he disagrees, what does that mean, guys? It's very subjective information. Information is very subjective. Before people say, oh, disinformation. Information is incredibly subjective. We could both see a tire on a car and say that's worn out. Another guy could be like, oh, that's kind of not as worn out, because of really minor details, like anything in the world. You could say, oh, that wall is white, and one guy could say, no, that wall is actually cream colored. So there's so many different nuances to these topics, guys. It's incredible.
And they are very extensive powers, not found, in fact, in that many other European countries.
And many other countries, such as Canada, Australia, and elsewhere, are adopting similar measures. But disinformation is not a new word by any means. It's a Cold War era KGB phrase and comes from the Russian Desinformation. This word was used to refer to false information that was designed by a state to deceive and manipulate the public.
Yeah, the Nazis did that. A lot of governments did that, guys, to basically, manipulate the public.
So originally, when someone referred to disinformation, they were talking about governments lying to the people for propaganda purposes. But now, in the modern era, the focus of the word has been completely reversed. Now it's the public who are accused of disinformation if they dissent from the government's narrative on a key issue like immigration, or COVID-19, or climate policy, or any other sacred cow that the political establishment doesn't want questioned. So rather than governments and intelligence agencies being accused of spreading disinformation as a form of propaganda against the public, it is now the public and the people who are allegedly spreading disinformation about government policy. The entire...
Yeah, guys, it seems like nowadays, if you at all question the government stories, or if you at all question topics that people talk about, stories that the government say or put out or whatever to the world, you're instantly seen as, real left, out in left field, like a far right guy, like a crazy nutcase, so you basically can't question anything nowadays. It's pretty unfortunate, guys, because back in the day when stuff used to be a bit more free, even 10 years ago in Ireland, stuff used to be a little bit more lenient. You kind of understand that nowadays you just can't question anything, guys. If you question anything, the weather, if you question anything, you're seen as a nutcase. So it's a little bit unfortunate, guys. I don't particularly love that.
Concept has been flipped on its head. We're now to believe that it's the people who are the propagandists and the state who are the victims of propaganda. What's more, if you consult a dictionary, disinformation is defined as false information which is intended to mislead. This is what we used to simply call lying. If you spread information that you know is false, you're obviously telling lies. That's all disinformation actually is. But if politicians said what they meant, namely, we want to regulate lying, people would immediately react with ridicule and outrage in equal measure. They would point out that politicians are widely regarded as some of the biggest liars in our society and are the last people who should be involved in the business of truth arbitration.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's a classic one because he did. Okay.
Miss Lewinsky. Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky that was not appropriate. In fact, it was wrong. It constituted a critical lapse in judgment and a personal failure on my part.
Most ordinary
Yeah, Bill Clinton messed up big time. Big time with that one.
people, rightly or wrongly, regard politicians in general to be a band of corrupt crooks and treacherous mercenaries who will say anything to get ahead.
Yeah, guys, and I personally believe that, you know, politicians, guys, basically you're in the government to kind of basically like lie to the people because, you know, and it's okay for them because if I had a neighbor, let's say, and they lied to me once, I'd be like, that's kind of weird. If they lied to me twice, I'd be like, I'm not gonna talk to that guy anymore. I'm not gonna hang out with that person anymore. You know what I mean? But with the media and politics, because they lie or just say something just off the cuff, we just, let's say that it's not correct, we just say, oh, it's okay, they got it wrong, it's okay, it's fine, and we kind of just continue to believe it. But if I had a friend that lied to me once, I'd be like, that's weird. If I had a friend that lied to me twice, which has happened loads of times, I just stopped talking to them because it's just a very strange thing to do, guys. I'm not talking about small lies like, oh, you know, whatever. I'm talking about like big lies, guys. Really weird shit.
As long as it advances their own self-interest. So in most people's eyes, for a politician to say, hey guys, we want to start regulating lies and deciding what's true, would be like putting a convicted predator in charge of a school. It would almost be laughable if it wasn't so serious. And so politicians couch such radical ideas in more technical sounding jargon like disinformation to minimize their own exposure to scrutiny. But the meaning is the same. So the next time you hear a politician tell you that they want to regulate disinformation, remember they are literally talking about appointing people like themselves to be the judge, jury, and executioner of the truth itself. And that should seriously concern us all. My name is Ben Scallon, and please follow GRIPT Media for more content like this.
Alright guys, and check out my channel as well, County Gains, for a lot more content like this. Also, if you guys want personal training programs, link is in the description. I do a lot of that kind of stuff, guys. I do personal training. I do a lot of different, you know, business things. But it is crazy, guys. Yeah, the disinformation, it's kind of switched from the government being pointed at the fingers, the fourth branch of government being the media, pointing the fingers at the people now, to now the government and the politicians pointing the fingers at the people. It's actually gotten very blurred, the lines between those two. So interesting to see, guys. I love to see it. Ben Scallywag is an absolute legend. Much love, Ben. And yeah, let me know what you guys all think. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.